Wow, a lot of new information in regards to Sam Bankman Fried, FTX, Alameda Research. We got things such as a $250 million bail. We've talked about that previously, but who are the individuals that helped with this bail? Well, a court filing today looks like we could be seeing now those names being revealed. In addition to that, we also have the Justice Department preventing Sam Bankman Fried from being able to access FTX Alameda Research assets as well. In addition to that, we also have what looks to be some potential witness tampering. I mean, we got a handful of things, but don't worry, we're going to go through these pretty quickly for you. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you guys to go do your own research, and I am going to be referencing here Cointelegraph, two separate articles from them. I'll have a link to both articles down in the description below. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into the news. First up, Sam Bankman Fried's $250 million bail guarantors to be made public, says judge. A January 30th ruling could see the identities of the two individuals who signed on as sureties for Sam Bankman Fried's $250 million bond become public, subject to appeal. The two people who helped former FTX CEO Sam Bankman Fried with his $250 million bail bond could have their identities revealed next month after a recent ruling by United States District Judge Lewis Kaplan. According to the January 30th filing, Kaplan granted the application to reveal the names of the two individuals to the public. However, Judge Kaplan has given Bankman Fried's legal counsel until February 7th to appeal. Bankman Fried was released from custody in December 2022 after two unknown people signed on as sureties for the $250 million bond, along with Bankman Fried's parents, Joseph Bankman and Barbara Fried. 8 major media companies, including Bloomberg, the Financial Times, and Reuters, demanded public disclosure of the two individuals responsible for guaranteeing the bond in a January 12th letter addressed to New York District Court Judge Lewis Kaplan. Attorneys from Davis Wright Tremaine LLP, acting on behalf of the media giants, argued that, quote, the public's right to know Bankman Fried's guarantors outweighed their privacy and safety rights. Bankman Fried's lawyers had continued to argue that the identities should be kept a secret, fearing the individuals would face harassment. Before I move on to the next article, I do want to highlight this. Having these names go public, it's pretty much a guarantee that they will receive some degree of harassment. Let's just be real. Sam Bankman Fried is receiving harassment for everything that happened there. Same thing with Caroline, other individuals associated with the Alameda Research. Heck, even the other companies that are now facing bankruptcy and trying to get everything resolved. A lot of harassment, a lot of people affected, and if it messes with your money, there's a good chance people are going to become vocal and want to express themselves and their frustrations. And some people will go above and beyond what is considered to be legal or what should even be considered to be appropriate for these manners, right? So some people will say like, oh, if it's affecting their money, then they have a right to act out in those ways, but like, you still got to act out within reason, right? So the court system is processing this information, and we're going to have some more information looking like it's going to come up right around February 7th. If I had to take a guess, again, just my own opinion, more than likely the other side is going to continue to try and fight this. So seeing whatever it is that they submit for their appeal on February 7th, I don't know how long it's going to take for Judge Kaplan to review that and then make their next decision, and how quickly that decision will then make the information be available to the public. So if I had to take a guess, I think by the end of February, there's a good chance that we could end up finding out these names. But for February 7th, more than likely, Bankman Fried's legal counsel is going to be objecting. Moving on to Justice Department defends motion to bar Sam Bankman Fried from accessing FTX Alameda assets. Prosecutors say Sam Bankman Fried tried to contact both the current FTX CEO John Ray and FTX U.S. General Counsel Ryan Miller. United States prosecutors in the criminal case against former FTX CEO Sam Bankman Fried have released text and email messages from Sam Bankman Fried to current CEO John Ray. In court documents released on January 30th, the Justice Department responded to a motion from Bankman Fried's legal team attempting to remove some of the proposed modifications for his bail conditions, which included barring contact with former and current FTX employees. According to prosecutors, Sam Bankman Fried attempted to contact both current FTX CEO John Ray and FTX U.S. General Counsel Ryan Miller. In an email to Ray on January 2nd, Bankman Fried said he hadn't gotten off, quote, on the right foot and offered to meet the FTX CEO in person in New York City. He was allowed to leave his parents' California home to appear in court and enter his non-guilty plea. The message followed one from December 30th in which Sam Bankman-Fried cited a Cointelegraph report in an attempt to address the status of funds tied to Alameda wallets. Quote, I myself can't access the funds, but I suspect that your team likely has the ability to move and safeguard these funds. I would be happy to talk about the ways you likely are able to access them if helpful. Bankman-Fried claimed in his January 12th pre-mortem overview of FTX's collapse that law firm Sullivan & Cromwell and the FTX U.S. General Counsel pressured him into naming Ray as his successor. Ray previously responded to claims from Sam Bankman-Fried regarding FTX as the former CEO having, quote, no ongoing role at the firm or its subsidiaries, and, quote, does not speak on their behalf. Filings from January 27th showed Bankman-Fried attempted to reach out to Miller, allegedly to influence his testimony in the criminal case. This prompted prosecutors to file a motion amending Sam Bankman-Fried's bail conditions to prevent contact with FTX employees and using encrypted messaging applications like Signal. The January 30th filing included a proposed prohibition on Sam Bankman-Fried, quote, accessing or transferring any FTX or Alameda assets or cryptocurrency. Bankruptcy proceedings for FTX are moving forward in the District of Delaware, while Sam Bankman-Fried's criminal trial is scheduled to begin in October in U.S. District Court in Manhattan. And as far as for my thoughts on this, first off, the wheels of justice turn slowly, but they turn in the right direction. And what we can see here is that the court case for Sam Bankman-Fried is not going to be taking place next month. We're talking about this one taking place in October. And some people will say like, hey, that's way too long. He's just going to be chilling out at his home. And I mean, look, the thing is this guy doesn't know how to shut up. That's the other thing we can read out in this. So the more that he opens up his mouth, the more likely is that he's going to be incriminating himself or incriminating other people inside of the company. So if you want justice to prevail, just look at his habits. Look at what he's been doing. Already now we're seeing new restrictions of him not being able to have access to these funds. So if he is found guilty on these charges, lo and behold, he's going to have his due justice. And the whole time that he's free, he's not really fully free. To a degree, he kind of gets to have that experience, like, you know, they deliver pizza to his place, he gets to watch TV, he gets to play video games, apparently he gets to have access to the internet. I don't even know how that's a thing. I think that if anything, the restrictions for this should be very clear that household, there should be no access point for internet to him. That's my personal opinion on it. I don't know what you guys think, but seeing as how all this stuff happens to deal with encryption, it has to deal with large sums of money that are specifically cryptocurrency related, and seeing the behavior of what it is that he's doing, I don't think that anyone that goes into that household should be able to have access to the internet. And his parents, for example, maybe there needs to be some sort of a middleman. So as they're coming in, they need to be searched, made sure that they don't carry with them their own personal phones, they have access to the internet itself. So they're able to spend their time there and engage with him, but they themselves, it doesn't really make much sense, right? If you're under the same household and some people have access to the internet and you don't, then how can you fully identify that that person that doesn't isn't just using their devices and saying that they're not using it when they're actually using the internet? So let us know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. And moving on to these last little bits. So as we had mentioned, the attempt to reach out here, we can see this email from Sam Bankman-Fried. This is being shared over on Twitter. Hey, blank, referring to witness one. I know it's been a while since we've talked, and I know things have ended up on the wrong foot. I would really love to reconnect and see if there's a way for us to have a constructive relationship. Use each other as resources when possible, or at least vet things with each other. I'd love to get on a phone call sometime soon and chat. He also tried to link up with John Ray III in New York City. So we already highlighted this a little bit in the other article. But hi, Mr. Ray. I know things haven't gotten off on the right foot, but I really do want to be helpful, whether on the funds or on anything else. Hopefully it's just you guys moving the funds. As I'm guessing you've heard, I'm in New York City for the next day. I'd love to meet up while I'm here, even if it's just to say hi in case you're available. I'm free before noon Eastern Standard Time or from roughly 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday in the city, Sam. And then in addition to that, we also see that according to Watcher Guru, Sam Bankman-Fried attempted to transfer crypto assets from FTX to foreign regulators by stalling the bankruptcy filings. And then also, Sam Bankman-Fried's Alameda Research is suing the bankrupt crypto lender Voyager Digital for $445 million. And we can see here a little bit more on the legal form reference to this. So, yeah, kind of a bizarre situation when you think about it, right? A lot of the blame's been thrown over onto Alameda Research and how Caroline had handled this, and there's been a lot of controversy behind that. And lo and behold, now we have another company that's been affected because of their decisions, Voyager. They're getting sued by the people that did the huge debacle with all this. So it's so weird. It's so absolutely bizarre to see the one that looks like they are the biggest criminals here trying to point the finger at someone else based on all the information that we've had presented so far. So I don't know how this is going to be handled moving forward in the courts and who's going to be actually found fully guilty with it. As the evidence has been presented so far, it's looking very likely that Sam Bankman-Fried, Caroline are at the top of the chain here, and that Alameda Research made a lot of bad decisions. Sam made a lot of bad decisions. Caroline made a lot of bad decisions. FTX, moving those funds out of FTX over to Alameda Research, and then how Alameda Research used those funds is where like a lot of the core issues here really seems to come into play. So we'll have to see how this comes out. Maybe Alameda Research comes out a little bit better because of whatever it is that they're presenting against Voyager. But I'll try to keep you guys updated as we find out more information. And that's what I got for you guys in this video. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, like button. God bless. Again, I am not a financial advisor. Please go do your own research. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. A double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeMoon.com, Victor Vegas, SafeMoon Oz for being higher level patrons. And also thank you to my YouTube members for your support. Thank you guys. God bless. We'll see you in the next episode.